Hey, it's Kat at Cattails TV. I'm at the beach working out, taking a break. Um, but I had this idea that might be helpful in the Megan the Stallion versus Tory Lanez case. I want us to think more rationally and not so emotionally. Let's take the emotion out of it. Let's look, sorry, I just hit my microphone. Let's look at Megan versus Tory if you owned a management company, all right? The pros and the cons. Now let's look at Tory first. What are the pros if you're a management company and somebody like Tory, you want them to sign so you can make money off of their product, their artistry. Because you can see that person makes money and you want a piece of it, and you also want to control the narrative. I mean, let's just be honest. Let's say you had certain agendas that you were trying to implement on a global scale, and you had the opportunity to pick either Tory Lanez or someone like Megan the Stallion. That's what I want you to start thinking about. All right, getting back to Tory. Now, based on what I've seen online of his old videos, he's an independent artist. He wanted his masters. He wanted his own ownership. He was teaching and preaching to younger generations and also older artists the importance of owning your own music, controlling your platform, the way you handle your money, as opposed to giving that up to somebody else. So he was telling people to control their own streams, to be independent, to get their fans and other people involved with the wealth sharing. He was trying, in my opinion, to encourage people to be self-reliant and to be independent. Sorry, my phone might be overheating and jerking around. But anyway, can we all agree on that he was an independent artist? And that also reminds me of Prince calling himself a slave. I mean, Prince calling himself a slave in regards to Warner Brothers is pretty wild. And him getting his publishing rights back close to when he died. So yeah, so now let's look at, and also let's look at like how long as a business you're making money off of the product. You know what I mean? So somebody like Tory, who has a wide range of talents, he can sing, he can rap, he can produce, he can write. He's very creative, but he's independent. You can't necessarily control him. You understand where I'm going? So now look at Megan the Stallion. We have a female who has no parents, who's from, a background where her, and I'm sorry, I didn't talk about Tory's background. His background is his mom passed away. He was homeless before. He was estranged from his father, and then they developed a relationship. So I don't know everything about him, but I'm just going to throw that out there. So getting back to Megan, she lost her parents. She's used to her dad being in prison until she was like 8. Her mom being a rapper, taking her to different studios, being around a lot of older people. And I don't know if there was drug use in the home. So imagine being in a chaotic household. Both these people had probably chaotic households growing up. So that can, change your perspective. And if you don't do the work of why you do things the way you do. So you have Megan, whose mom just passed away, whose only close person in her life was Kelsey Harris. Not, and I don't really understand all the information about her previous management company that she ditched to go jump the ship with Rock Nation. So imagine you're Megan the Stallion and you want to be a star. That's all you care about. And you got a management company in Houston that pretty much gave you a bunch of money, helped build your career, and then as soon as you have a hit or about to have a hit, Rock Nation comes along and says, "We want you." Of course you're going to jump the ship because you don't have loyalty. I mean, it makes sense, and you want to make as much money as possible, and you're flattered that you're close to Jay-Z, which is close to Beyonce, and you can see there's moves you can make, right? I mean, let's just be honest. So she dumps the people that helped her. Makes total sense. She uses Kelsey, who helped her with her schoolwork so she could graduate college, as her personal assistant, knowing that Kelsey will do anything for her. Megan is very gifted with having subordinates do whatever they need for her. She's very good at it. And also using emotion. I lost my mom. I lost my dad. I'm able to get people to do things for me that in a regular situation may not have happened, right? Kelsey leaves everything for Megan and goes on that trip to Hollywood. Now, of course, Kelsey would probably jump on any train to get out of Houston to be a part of that star lifestyle, even though if she's subordinate, even though she's holding the bag for Megan. She'd probably do anything for Megan because it seems like they have a very obsessive, interesting, codependent relationship. And I think Kelsey kind of acted like her mom in the sense of helping her manage her day-to-day life and telling her, maybe don't drink so much in certain videos. So again, looking at Megan as a product, I'm a manager and I have talent, and I'm choosing between somebody like Megan or Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez is independent. He wants to be independent. He wants to teach people how to make their own money. He's a threat to my business. You know what I'm saying? Because no offense, but I see management a lot of times as pimps because, they make money off of other people's talent. I mean, on the negative level, there are management companies that do a great job and they don't exploit people. But I'm saying is that even big stars talk about being ripped off by their accountant or their management company or money being lost. So pimps tend to steal people's money. So on the negative front, I'm calling them pimps. Not all, but some, right? So anyway, I'm looking at Megan or Tory as a manager. Megan, to me, is more profitable because I can use her because she's subservient and she's so willing to be a star and she's so willing to do whatever I tell her. I can put contracts in front of her and she'll sign like a good little dog because she wants to be a star and she hasn't learned how to read contracts yet. I mean, it can happen to anybody. I'm not trying to be an asshole to her. It can happen to all of us, but I want us to use this lesson to grow and to learn something. So anyway, Megan's identity is perfect for a company that has talent in a 360 deal. And if you don't know what a 360 deal is, it means any money you make, whether it's in a commercial, whether it's in a movie, whether it's in a TV show guest appearance like Saturday Night Live, or even a hit song, anything, any profit, or even a clothing line, they're getting a cut from. Everything you do, 360, they own a piece of. They might allocate a certain amount of money that she gets per month. I do not know. But as most of you do know, most of the clothes and the makeup and the hair and all those things, the glam squad, that comes out of the artist's pocket. And sometimes they're fronted money first and they have to pay it back. Even TLC complained when they had a top album run around the world that they were broke. So, and to me, TLC is a hell of a lot better than Megan Thee Stallion. So anyway, let's get back to the point. So, in my opinion, Megan is a willing slave employee. She accepts what she's given. So if they tell her to trot out a tequila brand, she spent the last several years promoting boating, guzzling alcohol straight or sipping out of a straw of Hennessy. She's already seduced the public over the last several years of drinking being a normal part of her brand. Imagine that. Drinking is a part of her brand, and her management company understands that, so they have her fronting a tequila brand. Now, behind the scenes, the management company has relationships with liquor companies, so they're probably determining which artists they're going to put with which liquor way ahead of time. Don't think that all this stuff is just like, oh, they just thought of it. They're smart enough to realize, okay, we're going to have Megan, she likes to drink. We're going to, constantly have her put on social media her drinking. And then in 2 years, we're going to have her promoting a liquor brand. Sort of like Diddy, Diddy put the liquor in all of his music videos. These people aren't stupid. I think the problem is a lot of us are stupid because we don't put all the things together. So getting back, I have notes, right? I wrote really sloppy and I have to read it. So what is Megan's inherent value? She's an influencer. She is used to sell more products. Clothing, bathing suits. She's got to deal with Walmart. Meanwhile, Walmart is, there's a boycott going on that happened with the DUI. And then now it's hilarious because the Walmart heiress, is going against Trump. So now the Trump supporters are against Walmart. So they're kind of fucked either way. So she's promoting her bathing suit line. And before she was promoting Planet Fitness, which is insane. Megan reminds me of like Lady Gaga when she came out. She had so many songs going on at the same time that I thought it was just overwhelming. Like, why were they pushing her? We're talking like 15 years ago. They were pushing her so hard. My brain was about to stop. It was like one song, Paparazzi was out, and then they had another song and another song. It was just like, it was overwhelming. To me, if you think about all the things that Megan has been promoting over the last, I don't know, a year, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's a workhorse. They have her doing a lot. So we got the clothing, we got the booze, the tequila, we got her twerking, which is sexualization. She's made it even more common for girls, to twerk and think it's cool and to have their asses all the time out. She's influencing a look, a mindset. It's kind of a hood rat mindset about using sex to get a bag. You know what I mean? Like, that's her whole thing. Think about her music. I don't hear her ever talking about love, trying to find a good man, trying to have a stable relationship, trying to have a family. It's mainly like, I'm the best bitch. I can take your man. I can steal your bag. I'm the shit, which to me is very boring and very repetitive. But regardless, that's her influence. So let's talk about what is her positive message. Think about it. What is her positive message? Now compare that to what Tory was saying before he got locked up. He was all excited telling people, hey, you can own your own music, you can make money, you can get your fans to make money, and I'm going to show you how. As opposed to somebody who's in a 360 deal, who's willing to sell herself sexually, visually. I don't know personally, but visually. But I mean, the funny thing is, Nicki Minaj made comments in her rap song that Megan will do anything for a bar. Like, if somebody gives her some beats, she'll do whatever. So what do I know? Yeah, The only message I see Megan coming out with is, or they're manipulating her coming out, is that is punitive vengeance against her alleged abuser. She's not a role model in a positive way in my eyes. Tell me what she's a positive role model of. Like, seriously. Tell me what she's a positive role model of. But what her bots and what Rock Nation has done is promoted her as the victim. And a sexualized victim who supposedly protects everybody else, but yet her actions don't prove that. And that she's a liar. She didn't lie just once, she didn't lie just twice, she lied multiple times. So to me, she's a good employee if you know you can manipulate her and control her. And she's so deep in it that she can't get out of it. They don't have a choice. You have to understand, in my mind, Rock Nation is embedded with her because Desiree Perez has done so much to control the narrative about Tory Lanez, and that case is so corrupt that it's at a breaking point that either something has to be done because it's so obvious it's corrupted, and it's obvious that Desiree Perez has a history of abusing her power and using Rock Nation to get whatever she wants, as in what's happening with her daughter suing her in Miami. There seems to be a lot of corruption in Miami. Go figure. Or Florida. Epstein, Trump, being able to Diddy, all that weird shit. Seems like if you want to break the law and you have some money, definitely go to Florida and then come around to LA. But yeah, and of course New York. But it has to do with ports, I guess, and drug trafficking and all this other weird shit. I digress. Again, last thing. Look at the difference. What's the benefit between somebody like Tory, and somebody like Megan? If you're a management company that makes money off of your talent, and you want to control that talent, and you also want to influence a whole new generation of young women to want to be exactly like that influencer, like Megan Thee Stallion. Because to me, no offense, she looks like a hooker. That's her job, is a honeypot, is to seduce, manipulate, and try to encourage young girls to want her lifestyle. But she's not telling them anything positive. She's saying, get your bag, use men, da-da-da-da-da, be competitive, manipulate. But I don't see any positive. I don't see any positive thing that she's done. I'll leave that here. So anyway, this is Cat at Cattails TV. Take care of your mental health, by the way. Work out. Take care of yourself. But also, let's be able to have a conversation about logic versus emotional manipulation. Because I don't think a lot of us understand how easily we're manipulated by emotion. I mean, that's what movies are all about, and gaming. They put you in a world of altered reality. And I just feel like a lot of the conversations we're having online with people are really bots paid by organizations that have their own agenda. And by the way, I live in LA, so the riots, as they're liking to say, is really in a 1 mile to at the most 3 mile radius in downtown Los Angeles, and also mainly peaceful. Trump ratcheted it up so he could take away the focus of what Elon said about him on Twitter, being, into underage children. This is Cat at Cattails TV. Bye.